Welcome back to Challenge Accepted with Jonah C., where we don't just talk about pushing limits, we live it. Today's episode is about alive, always living in victory's edge. I wrote this concept, about 20 years ago. I thought that I shouldn't let it go to waste. So let's break that down real quick. Victory's edge isn't a place you go. It's a mindset you live in. It's that zone where you're uncomfortable, stretched, tested, but growing. Where you're not just making noise, you're making progress. But here's the problem. So many people aren't living, they're existing. They wake up tired, they hit snooze, check their phone, drag themselves through the day, go home, zone out, and call that a life. That's not being alive. That's surviving. That's coasting. That's autopilot. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand. In terms of surviving, there are many situations out there with many of you, many of us that have gone through things or you're going through something where surviving is the best you can do. I totally get that. But there are also those of you out there, which includes myself, that can overcome that by choosing, by knowing that there are remedies out there so you can get up, stand up, level up, and be alive. So one thing to think about is remembering this, that people are waiting for life to get easier. Spoiler alert, it won't. We have to get stronger, get sharper, and get better each and every day. That doesn't require large leaps and bounds. Like I've always said, and I will continue to say, baby steps are so important, and baby steps should also be celebrated. Being alive means you stop waiting and start choosing. It means you wake up and say, today, I don't need life to be easier. I need to be ready. I need to be present. I need to be relentless. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to flip the switch once again. We're going to get uncomfortable. We're going to get intentional. We're going to get alive. We're going to do this in 5 parts. Each one is loaded with truth, real-life examples, and hard-hitting challenges. So let's lock in, let's shift, let's level up. Are you ready? I am. I'm Jonah. I'm your person. Let's get to it. All right, so let's talk about segment 1 and what it means to be alive. Well, most people don't even realize they're living on autopilot until someone holds up a mirror. Let's go deep for a second. So think about the last time you felt lit up, not just happy and not just entertained. I'm talking about the last time you were so present, so fired up, and so driven that you forgot about the clock. That's alive. That's real living. But here's the kicker. If you can't remember the last time that happened, you've been existing. So existing versus living, let's talk about that hard truth. Existing looks like this. Wake up tired, go to work, complain, if you complain, scroll on your phone for hours, go to bed, and repeat. Living looks like this. Wake up on purpose, fuel your body, fuel your mind. Attack your goals, embrace discomfort, take ownership of your results, go to bed fulfilled even if it was hard. And it's not about being busy, it's about being intentional. Here are 4 signs that you're just existing. Number 1, you're waiting for the right time, that perfect moment. Well, it's a myth. People who win regularly start with what they have, where they are, and they figure it out as they go. Number 2, you're stuck in boring routines that don't grow you. Now, I've had friends say to me, I'm bored. And just to mess with them, I do ask, does that mean you're a boring person? And of course, we laugh and giggle about, but I'd bet that no one on this planet is really bored or boring. They're just not living to their full potential. And maybe I'm being slightly naive, but probably not too far off. Number three, you've convinced yourself that this is just the way life is. No, it's how you've settled it to be. Number four, you're tired, but not because you're grinding. You're tired because you're not fulfilled. Here's a micro look at victory's edge versus living on the edge. Living on the edge is impulsive, reckless, all gas, no direction. Victory's edge is sharp, disciplined, strategic, and it's all about showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And here's a quick example. I had a subscriber DM me once when I first launched the podcast last year around this time. He said he was tired of being broke, tired of feeling weak, and tired of just existing. And I told him, then stop waiting and start building. And fast forward to today, he's not just alive, he's thriving. Not because life got easier, but because he got serious. All right, here's challenge number one. For the next 24 hours, write down 3 things you're settling for. And write down one action you will take today to shift one of them. Once again, your first challenge, take it serious, use your power to choose. For the next 24 hours, write down 3 things you're settling for, and then write down one action you will take today to shift one of them. And if you're eager, and if you're willing to accept the challenge, write down one action for each of the 3. All right, let's move on to segment 2, the power of mindset, shifting into alive mode. Your brain is the control center. If your mindset is off, your life will be off, no matter how many goals you set. And here are 3 mindset traps to stay far, far away from. Number 1, victim mode. You believe life is happening to you. Nah, life is happening for you. And that's if you show up. Number 2, comfort mode. You protect your ego and avoid pain, but you'll never grow in a padded room. And number 3, waiting mode. I'll start Monday, next year, when I'm ready. You'll never be ready. You've got to start today, no matter what. All right, it's now time to shift into alive mode. See discomfort as data. That challenge, it's trying to build you. Talk to yourself like a coach, not a critic. Win small, win daily, win ugly if you have to, just win. All right, here's a story I'd like to share with you. There's a lady that I know, single mom, 2 jobs, and basically has no time to do much of anything else but be the best mom she can possibly be. However, she squeezed out and committed to 30 minutes a day on her dream. She wrote a chapter a day. And a year later, published author. Not because she had more time. She had a stronger why. She realized that her life was not going to get easier. She had to get stronger. And she used her power to choose and decide, and she did it. And here's challenge number 2. For the next 7 days, every time you say, I can't, flip it and say, I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. Then take one action to prove that new belief. All right, let's talk about segment 3, energy and execution, how to stay alive daily. You can't stay in victory's edge if your tank is empty. Let's break this down. There are 4 types of energy you need to guard like treasure. Number 1, physical energy. You're not tired because you're working hard. You're tired because you're out of alignment. Sleep, food, movement, it all matters. High performers don't just grind, they recover. Number 2, mental energy. What are you consuming daily? Gossip, clickbait, social drama? That stuff drains you. Protect your mental diet and feed your focus. Number 3, emotional energy. People will either fill your cup or poke holes in it. Be careful who gets access. Number 4, spiritual energy. This isn't about religion. It's about grounding. Meditation, prayer, nature, silence, whatever centers you. In season one, in one of the episodes, I talked about the Four Disciplines of Execution, which is a book written by Stephen Covey. And it talks about taking lofty goals and breaking them down into bite-sized chunks or baby steps, as I'd like to call them, and being able to take these lofty goals and be able to reasonably and realistically execute on them. Because the real game changer is being able to execute. Because think about this: motivation is just hype. Discipline is where the real power is. And everybody has a plan, but few people can execute on it. And where the real flex is consistency. I knew a guy who had every planner, every calendar, every productivity hack, including lots of apps on his phone that could help him achieve his goals, but no results. Why? He didn't execute. And busy doesn't mean productive. Action beats planning every time. And I want to share a personal struggle that I had some time ago, not long ago, but long enough ago where I feel pretty successful at this point. And that was managing my time. It wasn't so horrible off the charts that nothing ever got done. It's just that so many things are happening, personal life, business life, and so forth, that I didn't quite have a map or plan or something that would help me execute. And what I realized was that I wasn't really using my true power to choose and decide. And it wasn't until then that I took one minor resource, that being my Outlook calendar, to really help me achieve what I needed to achieve. And I used the concept of called time blocking. And when I got it down, I'm sure plenty of people got kind of annoyed with me because I said time blocking. Everybody should be time blocking. Everybody should do, but I really live and breathe by that now. And unless there's a 911 issue going on in my life, personal or business, the time that I've blocked on my calendar, it will happen no matter what. And that's how relentless we have to be in order to execute on our goals. So here's challenge number 3. Track your energy and execution for the next 5 days. Now, I know I've already given you 2 other challenges, and you're probably thinking, well, now I've got 3 challenges. All of them can coincide and coexist together. So every night, ask, did I show up fully? Did I act or procrastinate? And then adjust accordingly, right? Minor baby steps, little tweaks here and there. These are not big, huge, monumental things to get done so that when you execute, these are really minor things. So go back at each challenge and then bring them all together, and you'll see that they are actually doable. You're doing really good. Thank you for hanging in there and staying committed to listening to this episode. All right, let's talk about segment 4, surroundings and influence. Who's keeping you alive? We become like the people we spend the most time with, period. Our circle is our ecosystem. And if our ecosystem is toxic, our growth will suffocate. And there are 3 types of people we need to be aware of. Number 1, anchors. They hold you down, they drain you. Number 2, observers. They're neutral, not bad, not good, but they don't make you better per se. And number 3, challengers. They call you up, they hold you accountable. They energize you. They're probably your biggest fan. And finally, they speak life and push truth. And probably equally as important, this is who you should be for them. So here's a truth bomb. If your circle doesn't challenge your thinking or raise your standards or hold you accountable, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. I wanted to share a quick personal story, and it can be sad at times, but I had to walk away from some people I'd known for years, and not because they were bad, but because they weren't growing, and I refused to shrink to fit. All right, here's challenge number 4. This will probably be one of the more sensitive challenges that I put out there. Know that I don't take it lightly. Make a list of the 5 people you talk with most. Label them. Label them with fuel, as like in a check mark for fuel, and then a red X for drain. And what you're going to want to do is limit time with the drains and double down on the fuel. Yay! We made it to the final segment. I call this one the Alive Challenge. No more holding back. So here's that final challenge. You've got all the pieces now, the mindset, the energy, the circle, and now it's time to live it. So, here is your 7-day alive commitment that I'm doing with you. For the next 7 days, commit to start every morning with clarity and write down your intention. Number 2, do one uncomfortable thing each day. Number 3, execute even when you don't feel like it. Number 4, be intentional with your energy and your circle. And number 5, reflect nightly. No lies. Ask yourself, did I show up? And here's the thing, you're either just breathing or you're actually alive. You choose. Look, life isn't going to wait for you to get ready. It's not going to pause so you can find your motivation. You're either stepping forward or you're falling behind. If this episode sparks something in you, share it. Tag a friend. DM me with what you're committing to. And post your 7-day alive challenge on your story. And tag me. I want to see it. Also, drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. It really does help the show to grow. Well, here we are at the end of the show. If or when you're faced with adversity, when you want more, when you're faced with so many choices, challenges, and decisions, when the goal feels monumental, how will you manage? What will you choose? What will you decide? Will you crumble under pressure? Will you cave to those naysayers? Will you choose negativity? Or will you choose to always live in victory's edge? You must tell yourself, I want this, I can do this, I've got this, and I've done it before. I will do this. I've got this. I'd really like to challenge each and every one of you to level up. Because when these things start to work in your life, you can not only appreciate the work and the commitment you've done, but then you can celebrate the fact that you made it happen by your own power. And my final message to you, my friend, is you've got this. I believe in you. Now believe in yourself and make it happen. And I'll see you at Victory's Edge. Join me next Tuesday, April 15th for episode 4 of the second season called Higher Level Thinking, which is a newer expand your mind concept of living. This will also be a 2-part series with episode 5 called Cause and Effect. You don't want to miss these 2 episodes. For now, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back and have a great week.